Peace. This is episode 105. Knowledge Cipher Power. To those that know, they know. Let me go check and see what is the YouTube playing right. Give me a second. Hope it's no freezing happening today. It's looking like it's starting to freeze. I gotta clean my computer. I keep saying it, but I really do. Dad, it's freezing. At least let me get an hour in before it start freezing. What's up, Lamont Davis? Appreciate you, man, coming through. Yeah, I got some things I want to talk about today, like I say every day. Give me a second. Yeah, I want to talk about ratings. How people the gaming what's up precisely, like people be talking about ratings. So I'm gonna talk about ratings today because a lot of people they're real ignorant to ratings. You know, I touched on this I think last week some, but I think I wrote an article to go more in depth about it because people think because a heavyweight boxer is 90 and a lightweight boxer is 90, that's the equivalent of the same thing. It's not. What's up, Mike Adams? Appreciate you coming in. Damn, my voice acting up already, and I ain't even start talking. Go on. Yeah, what's up, Mike Adams? Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about ratings. I'm gonna start off with the ratings. No, I want to talk about the Fight Night Forever guys. Joker's trying to get gangster on me. I was saying something. He said, "Oh, you made a post and they ain't even getting no likes and stuff like that." And I'm like, yeah, so what? I don't care if it got likes or not. But if you look at it, you would have saw that it got a lot of views. They didn't gotta like it. It's just like when I'm on YouTube. If you don't remind people to like your post, they're not gonna like it. I do it plenty of times. I gotta go back and click on somebody. I had to click the like after the live is off. But yeah, they was talking slick, and I'm like, yo, I said, yo, you need to be quiet because I know a lot of people in EA. So you need to be quiet. So he's like, so I don't care. I said, all right. So that's how you planning and you keep running your mouth. So I threw a little message to EA. I want to see how that turned out. Them must acting gangster like they really have rights to the songs that they're using and what they're doing with EA's game when it's still in the Xbox marketplace. I'm like, yo, y'all like making enemies for no reason. I'm for everybody that's trying to make companies make a boxing game. But when you like it's like you intentionally trying to start a beef with somebody. I'm not the one to do that for. I know too many people. Definitely not the one. I went to a funeral today, but everything other than that is good. What's up, A Smooth? I'm here. What's good, Poe, in the chat 100? Yeah. I'm about to read off some stuff because this, I said I'm gonna start building off of on my wish list and stuff and different topics, but I want to talk about ratings. How the casual fans, it's like the casual fans starting to dumb down the hardcore fans. It's like the hardcore fans are starting to sound like the casual fans. I'm like, what are you talking about? Is somebody 90 that's a heavyweight and somebody's 90 that's a lightweight, middleweight, or super middleweight or something like that, it doesn't have the same equivalence as a heavyweight. And then people don't realize what did it take to get to that 90. People don't be thinking. Blaster X, salute. Does anyone know how do the makers of Fight Night Forever get away with the mod? I'm about to find out because they're talking slick. I'm about to find out whenever they answer it, because it's the weekend. But I sent them a nice little letter. I sent and I said I went to different things like EA Help. I said, hey, is it legal for somebody to be using your game and using songs? They better hope I don't start getting aggravated and I start telling the song that they use and tell the people that made the songs that they're using the game. I mean, their songs in a game that they modded without permission. How can you talk slick to somebody when you're doing stuff illegally? Exactly. None of them tough. It's easy to talk tough behind a computer. See, I could talk tough behind a computer because I could do it in real life. Let me see. Oh, that's what I'm gonna do. Before I kick anything off, I know what I'm about to do. Give me a second, y'all. Let me see. I'm glad you reminded me. Just by you saying that, you reminded me. Um, Let me see. I'm trying to grab a video. If it lets me grab it. Because it's a video, but it's partial of a fight that I had. I got to edit the full one, and I just don't want my name up there, because it got my name on the screen and everything. And the guy that's commentating the fight, he telling my whole life story almost. I don't need that on the internet. Let me see. Let me open up some videos. Give me a second, y'all. All right, here we go right here. I hope this works. Y'all see it? That's me in the red. This was an exhibition fight. We both won our fight. We technically we were friends. Y'all see the video? I was out of shape. Well, not fully out of shape, but I took off 2 weeks because they said that I had a walkover. So I said ain't no use to overtraining myself. And the weight jumped on me quick, but I got it right back off quickly because I had to go to the regionals. I'm gonna give y'all the whole video once I edit it, but this is a short version of it. Oh, that was the end of it. All right. Yeah, Tyson Holyfield, they was my like, even though they like not that far from my age. Is Tyson? I think he's 5 years older than me. But yeah, I always admired Mike Tyson and Holyfield. Um, yeah, let me read this thing that I was gonna read before somebody jump in here. Well, I supposed to have the Beast and what's his name, Joe Pro. They both look like they have. I mean, they both got like big personalities. So that should be an interesting show when when we schedule it. All right, boxing ratings are not just numbers. When you see a boxer rated 90 in one game and 87 in another, or a light heavyweight rated 90 and a heavyweight rated 90. These numbers aren't apples to oranges. Ratings are relative, measured within the context of weight classes and competition levels. Why it matters: a 90 rated featherweight is dominant among featherweights, but would struggle if magically dropped in the heavyweight. Strength, speed, stamina scale differently across weight classes. Example: Mike Tyson at 220 and Vasily Lomachenko at 135. Both can be 90 rated, but the numbers represent dominance in their own sphere, not a universal power scale. Other people gotta learn. They gotta like do their research and know these things. And, and it's up to, and Steel City is not teaching nobody. They're not saying anything. If you teach people stuff like older games used to do, they used to like literally teach you stuff so you could be aware of things instead of you like just making up your own assumptions. Weight classes change everything. Fans often forget boxing isn't about raw numbers, it's about relative effectiveness. Speed versus power. Lighter boxers are faster but hit softer. Heavier boxers are slower but hit harder. A middleweight with 85 power is extremely dangerous in that division, but wouldn't carry the same weight threat at heavyweight. stamina, and durability. Heavier boxers burn energy differently, rating them identical to lighter fighters ignores real-world physics. Game design implications. A rating system must adjust each stat per weight class, not give a flat rate across the board. This is where Steel City messes up at. Cross-division comparisons are misleading. Fans often scream, why is fighter X rated lower than fighter Y? He could beat him. Reality check. Ratings reflect historical performance, tendencies, and statistics, not personal opinion or hype. Investigative point. Even in real boxing, a top 135-pounder boxer moving up to 147 often struggles against naturally bigger fighters. Rating simulates that reality. Games that ignore it end up giving arcade-like unrealistic outcomes, excuse me. Video game context. A boxer overall rating is weighted by skill categories: power, speed, defense, stamina, ring IQ. The game engine then normalizes these for each weight class. I don't like ratings does not mean they're wrong. Many fans complain because their favorite boxer doesn't dominate a game, but ratings are data-driven, comparative, and context-sensitive, not designed to cater to fandom. And that's the problem. A lot of people think what they feel their favorite fighter should be, that's the way they should be. Example, two boxers with similar overall numbers might fight entirely different. One is a counterpuncher with high defense, the other an aggressor with stamina. The numbers may look close, but the experience in game is different. Important note, ratings also include intangles like fight IQ, adaptability, tendencies which aren't invisible at first glance, but heavily influence outcomes. How to critique like a real boxing fan. If you want to argue ratings, do this. Check weight class dominance. Are they top in their division historically? Compare tendencies. Does the AI reflect real tendencies, pressure, counter, stamina, management? Accessibility, skill distribution. High overall doesn't mean evenly spread. Check power, check speed, and defensive individuality. That's what I was talking about. When people like both of them got 90 or let's say 87, both of them got 87, but what is it? A high number in the speed and a low number in the power. So it could add up to 87, but it's not the same thing. That's what people got to understand. But as a casual fan and some people that don't know ratings, they will say, why is he 87 and he's 87? You got to realize what strengths he got. All right, contextual cross division. No, contextualize across division. A heavyweight versus lightweight debate is mostly hypothetical. Ratings aren't meant for this. Bottom line for video game fans, boxing ratings are tools for realism, not fan wish lists. Complaints often come from misunderstanding. Overall ratings are relative, not absolute. Weight class and fight style heavily influence ratings. Stats hide nuances like tendencies and stamina that affect outcomes in ways a casual fan might not see. If a game gets this wrong, flatten rates across weight class or ignoring tendencies, it breaks immersion. But if it respects these principles, what looks like low ratings are actually accurate representation of the sport. Ratings are contextualized, not absolute. When a boxer when a boxing games assign a rating, say 90, it's not a universal measure for of better fighter. It's a measure for dominance related to divisions and era. Weight class matter. 90 rated lightweight is historically dominant among lightweights, but doesn't mean they could compete at heavyweight. Let me make sure I'm not reading the same thing over and over again. No, I'm not reading the same thing, but it's going to sound the same. I don't even know if I should read it. Let me see what y'all saying in the YouTube. Let me see. Undisputed doesn't have. Let me. Undisputed doesn't have the amateurs in it like that. Shaking my head. Needs more innovation. Oh, you gotta check out my blog. I got a whole post I just put up about amateur fighting. How deep it should be. Like it could be a standalone, or you could merge it together with a career mode. Make it more in depth. Let me see. Undisputed does not even have the amateurs in it like that. Shake my head. Needs more innovation at the maximum capacity with Undisputed too. It does. We were promised a deep amateur mode because I remember we asked. Matter of fact, I think I asked. It's so much technology and videos and blogs and professional boxers that they can use to do these things in this day and age. It's no excuse. It really is not. It's no excuse. It's no excuse at all. Undisputed has a bare bone career. No mini games, no sparring, no bag, no practice mode, no offline tournaments, no story mode, horrible online, poor mechanics, desync, poor hit detection, horrible. Exactly. Agree 1000%. A Smooth said. Lamont Davis, that part. AI and Undisputed never gets tired, honestly. Yeah, it's like they rush the game. Everything's like rush. It's like once the Joker see them nice paychecks, they start rushing everything. And my thing is, we try to blame it on Will, but Ash is accountable for it too. Because they have to make sure. I don't even think Ash really know the game that he has. Once he start making that money, he ignored the game. I think Ash really think the game is what it was in the early betas and alphas. Let me see. Mike Adams said, Undisputed has a major roster issue online. Everyone just picks the highest rated fighter in every division. They bring out all this DLC with low rated fighters no one will ever use. They would if they actually had tendencies in this game. If they had tendencies in this game, people would use them. If they had some different styles and stuff like that, they would use them. But the thing is, Steel City, they don't care. Once they start making that money and stuff, they didn't care. They stopped caring about the game. Oh, man. Excuse me. Let me go back to these ratings. All right. Weight class matters. 90 rated lightweight is historically dominated against lightweights, but that doesn't mean they could compete in heavyweights. Ratings account for historical context, speed of the era, average power output, training method. Game engines scale stats differently by weight class and tendencies to simulate realistic fight outcomes. 90 rated 90 rated featherweight endgame moves lightning fast, but hits lighter than a 90 rated heavyweight. Think of ratings like percentile rankings, not raw scores. A 90 means 10% in this division, not the strongest, not stronger than everyone else. Everyone everywhere. Weight class physics and stat collecting. Fans often complain because they see raw numbers and assume 90 versus 90 should be equal in power or effectiveness. That's a misunderstanding. Speed versus power trade-off. Lighter boxers have faster hand speed, better footwork. Heavier boxers hit harder but have slower recovery and shorter movement range. Stamina endurance. Heavy fighters burn energy differently. Lighter fighters can maintain higher output longer. Durability scaling. A punch that staggers a featherweight won't necessarily hurt a heavyweight, even if the fighters are equally rated. Video game engines model these trade-offs to preserve realism. Ignoring these create arcade-style fights that feel unrealistic. Why cross-division comparisons fail? Online complaints often include statements like this lightweight could beat that middleweight, but boxing ratings aren't intended for fantasy cross-division matchups. Real-world data. Boxers moving up in weight usually lose effectiveness against natural-sized opponents, even if their skill is world-class. Game AI scaling. Engines normalize stats per division. A 90 rated middleweight punch power, stamina, speed are calibrated to that class. Putting them in a heavyweight fight without adjusting will break the game simulation. There is actually game engines and technology, like when you move up, like you get the boxer, you move up, it start recalibrating the boxer so he kind of fit in that weight class, even though some of his strength or power might still be not match up with that weight class. Tendencies matters. Ratings including style, specific behavior, counterpunching, aggression, stamina management, which includes fight outcomes more than raw numbers. This is why numbers alone never tell the story. Two fighters with identical overall ratings can fight completely different. Intangibles and hidden stats. A lot of people don't know about this. What most fighters don't see: tendencies, AI behavior like patience, counterpunching, pressure, and adaptability. These can swing a fight without affecting overall ratings. That's why I talk about tendencies a lot. Punch effectiveness matrices. Games simulate how punches interact with hurt states, reach, and defensive styles. A 90 rated fighter may be neutralized by a low rated opponent if styles clash. People don't realize that. That's why people got to be educated. And the name of this blog is Why Ratings Aren't Just Numbers. The Dummy's Guide for Video Game Fans. That's the name of this blog when you go looking for it. Ring IQ and strategy weighting. High-rated boxers aren't just strong, they read the ring, control distance, and manage stamina. Many complaints ignore these subtleties, and that's true. That's the casual fans. Example, a technically brilliant 87 rated boxer could easily defeat a 90 rated brute if the engines simulate defense, counters, and stamina management correctly. That's what people don't realize. When they see 87, that's what in the game, they don't do these things right. You could be a 70 rated boxer and beat a boxer 90. That's what Ash was saying in the beginning. He was saying he wanted the game to be so realistic. If you're not strategic enough, a boxer that's 70 or let's say 69 or something like that, and you're like 90, 92, he should be able to beat you if you're not strategic, which makes sense. Some people say, oh man, nah, that ain't nowhere in the world somebody got a ratings of 69 gonna beat somebody 90. Yes, they can. That because somebody 90 don't mean their IQ is 90. People got to use logic. Let me see what y'all saying. Let me see. I gotta go back. All right. Blaster said, then people try to use two different boxes in the same way. They should be more awareness of the abilities. Exactly. They have five. No, they actually had 6 years, but we give them the 5. We give them the 5. They actually had 6 years because they started in 6 years ago. They have 5 years to make it, and yet it's still rushed and half finished. Exactly. It's like when they saw the package that they was getting to work there. My thing is, who does that? When you got a great job, you try to make sure that you keep that job. You try to make sure you're keeping the boss happy. These jokers got on a job and just did some craziness. Beta 2 had its issues, but it was the closest thing to the game being sim. Then what's out now? Beta 2 had its issues, but it was the closest thing to the game being sim than what's out now. Right now, it feels like Street Fighter and Tekken with boxing gloves. Exactly. Straight up. Lamont Davis says straight up. It does. The game is a spammer's paradise. Mike Adams said that. Mike Adams said, I wish I played the PC beta of Undisputed. Yeah, it was good. Like the Steam version that I played, it was good. It just had little tweaks they needed to do. It's crazy. The game needs a whole new movement engine where both fighters' animations and movement blend together fluently. Exactly. Salute, Shaolin Face. Appreciate you, man, for showing up. It's funny how they are trying to promote Fight Night Forever as the best boxing game, better than Undisputed. I can't agree with that. I can't either. It's still Fight Night. They actually keep saying like the game is different. It's the same game. It's the same game that didn't sell them. It's the same game that took 12 years to sell 1 million copies. It's crazy. They're actually starting to get top content creators to promote this stuff. Their thing is like somebody getting a brand new car. No, I don't even want to use no. You get a car and and your girlfriend see you driving around the car and be like, nah. Like they trying to make Steel City jealous that Fight Night Forever is out. That's what everybody doing. Their thing is that's their way of protesting. And you know what's going to end up happening? Instead of the fans that want a realistic game, we're going to get Fight Night Undisputed. Nobody don't want that. I say it's probably about 5% of the people that want Undisputed Forever or Undisputed Champion. That's what they're doing. They call themselves making Undisputed jealous in some type of way. Or they're going to make EA make another boxing game. They are stupid. You really think this is what's going to make EA make another boxing game? From my conversations with EA developers, when Undisputed sold that 1 million copies, they were waiting for Undisputed to keep that motivation going for a month. It didn't. So that scared off the investors. They were saying we might still come back around and make a game. But right now, because they would have jumped right on it if Steel City was able to hold them numbers. Let me see. Mike Adams said, hold up. Yeah. I'm bringing punches from the other side of the ring. It may as well be a fireball. Exactly. They really want this game to be an arcade game at all costs. They really do. And it's too many people going different ways. You got the casual fans, then you got the hardcore fans, and you got them all going back and forth against each other instead of coming together. I'm for a hardcore game. I'm for a realistic hardcore game. But I'm for the whole community. I'm for options. But you got people in the community that will say, no, we don't need options. It should be one and let people just come up to speed. No, give options. You don't force nobody to place. If you want the game to sell, you do not force people to play one mode. I'm serious. It don't make sense. Let me see. A Smooth save. Undisputed is better than Fight Night as far as it being closer to real boxing offline. But they both have a lot of cons and pros. Fight Night just feel a bit more fluid. How the punches look. Yeah. The punches look more fluid, but they are arcade punches. The developer said that. Everybody keep thinking this is me saying that. The developer said that. Brian Hayes said it. Let me see. Shaolin said, A Smooth, yup. It's because the game works the punches actually land. That's what That's what's hurting Undisputed. Salute, Charlene. Let me see. Agree. Ragzilla was part of the Fight Night Champion team, so I don't get how his skill and knowledge didn't translate well with Ash Vision. Because he went there to take over. When Will got that job, it's like he went there to take over. Like he knew everything. Will Kinsler was a community moderator. He was a community manager. He started off he started off with the job that I had. I was a senior moderator. I was working to become a community manager, but he got the job. And he was about to work towards being a community administrator. But Will was my boss at Still City. Let me see. He gotta leave the arcade shades in the past. What's up, Leafy? Every game should have multiple options. Exactly. It should. It makes sense. To me, business-wise, to get more people and money-wise, you gotta have options. You gotta be able to tune the game to a way that you want to play, especially offline. To me, offline should not have any restrictions. When a game says that no, offline can't have this or have that, that means that you didn't build the game for offline and online. You basically got them both stuck together some type of way. So that offline game actually an online game too. Let me see. Blaster say Bloody Knuckle Street Boxing looks promising with the new archetypes included. Hopefully it gets good updates. A lot of people playing Fight Night Forever feel like they're having fun since it's a complete game. The new boxes will get old. Exactly. And you said it right. They having fun with it because it's a complete game. Undisputed is not a complete game. It's like they did enough and stopped. It's like they did just enough to get themselves and stop doing anything on the game. And the new box is going to get old because the commentator doesn't actually call their name. Is whatever boxes they put the skin on top of. That's what they call it. I can't do that. Me myself, I get annoyed and bothered by that. You got Emmanuel Augustus. What he had had Floyd Mayweather on top of Emmanuel Augustus skin. I mean on top of Floyd Mayweather's skin on top of Emmanuel Augustus. Pause. Who's the show going so far? How's the show going so far? It's going pretty good. I'm glad you reminded me. I was reading some I was trying to educate the casual fans on ratings because a lot of people don't understand what ratings are. Let me go back to these ratings so I can finish this blog. Let me go back over this section right here. A technically brilliant 87 rated boxer could easily defeat a 90 rated brute if the engine simulates defense, counters, stamina management correctly. All right. Ratings are actually calculated. Did I say that right? Calculated. All right, I said that right. For realistic boxing games, ratings are not arbitrary. See, I said that word good, then I'm stumbling on over other words. That's crazy. All right, let me stop talking junk before I start stumbling on everything. Historically, fight data wins, loss, KO percentage, open, quality, physical attributes, height, reach, weight, punch power, speed, endurance, tendencies, and style, aggression versus counter, footwork patterns, preferred punches, division normalization. Stats are scaled to make sense within the weight classes. Hidden multipliers, fatigue, stamina drain, damage scaling, punch specific effectiveness. This is why fans' intuition often conflicts with ratings. They compare absolute strength, but the game simulates relative dominance and context. It makes sense with the numbers. A lot of people, it'd be like an ignorant argument, then jokers be like trying to jump on you. You don't know what you're talking about. Why is Jake Paul 87 and Ryan Garcia this he should be able to beat Jake Paul. You're an idiot. That because Jake Paul is a whatever, you got to compare him with what he is in his weight class. Compare him to Usyk, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. You shouldn't be comparing them to the lower weight class. That's an ignorant argument. That's a stupid argument. Let me see. Misconception and the fan base. Many fans arise from Many complaints arise from simple misunderstandings. Why is this guy rated lower than my favorite? Ratings reflect division dominance, not popularity. Cross-weight comparisons should be fair, unrealistic, because physics, mass, and endurance scale differently. I want raw numbers to dictate outcomes. That ignores tendency, stamina, AI logic, and hidden multipliers, which actually simulate real fights. Fans who understand ratings realize a lower rated boxer can sometimes win if their style counters the opponent, which is exactly what happens in real boxing. Takeaways for video game fans. Ratings are relative, not absolute. 90 in one division doesn't mean 90 in another. Stats scale with weight classes. Power, speed, stamina are calibrated by realism. Styles and tendencies matters more than raw numbers. AI behavior can change outcomes drastically. Historically, accuracy drives ratings. Real-world fight data informs stats, not fans' opinions. Cross-division arguments are mostly fantasy. Ratings are built for division's accuracy. Simulations, not hypothetical ultimate fighter matchups. Conclusion. If a boxing video game respects these principles, unfair fights are often simulated realism, not errors. Fans who complain without understanding these numbers are usually judging the numbers at face value. Exactly. That's exactly what everything is face value to a casual fan. It's like they bring in what you look at the ratings of a character in a fighting game, and you bringing that same logic over to a boxing game. It doesn't add up the same way. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Oh, man. How's it going, Dorts? Let me see. Let me see. Appreciate you, Doors, for popping in. Let me see. What's going to happen to all them boxers and trainers and refs that was announced to be in the game? It's still over 80 plus. Man, it's way over. It's over 300 boxers, and it's like 20 something referees, and trainers and all that. You know what they got to do? They gotta renegotiate with these boxers, these referees, and these commentators and everybody, because they're taking too long to implement them. That's one of the main reasons I think Ash Habib bought the new studio in Las Vegas. They got 3 studios. 3 studios is that's triple A status. That's why I be telling people, stop treating Steel City like they're an indie company. They have 3 studios. All right, they got 2 studios and 1 facility. Stop treating it like it's an indie company. Y'all got to do y'all research on what an indie company is. A lot of people don't do their research. What's up, Lux? Appreciate you, brother, for showing up. I'm talking about a little bit. I was really talking about ratings because a lot of people don't understand what ratings are in boxing in general. A lot of people think if you have a rating of 90 in heavyweight and 90 in lightweight, they have the same equivalence. They don't, because a 90 lightweight might not be able to, no, he's not going to be able to beat an 80 or 85 heavyweight because he's a heavyweight. They're different. It's a difference. And when the stats, and people don't understand, because two boxers in the weight division, like let's say, I'm gonna just say, let's say 3 boxers are rated 90. That don't mean they have the same strengths, speed, or whatever. It's different things within that ratings that makes it a 90. It don't necessarily mean, hey, Deontay Wilder, he got a what do they got him in a like 92 power punch? It don't mean that that's what the other guy got. Yeah, like in real fighting, the weight matters. It do, and a lot of people, this where the ignorance comes. It's when I say ignorance, it's not like attacking anybody. Ignorance means they don't know. It's that people don't know that weight and everything. That's why I be saying so many things. Be giving it to. We should have weight detection. There should be weight detection in the fight. Suppose we had what's his name, Value V, the big heavyweight that fought David Haye and all these boxers. He was real big. Imagine if he's leaning on you. Weight detection. You supposed to your legs. You supposed to lose your legs. You supposed to get tired. You get fury. He's clenching and he's leaning on you. You're losing energy. You're tired. That's supposed to be in the game. Exactly. And you know what the first thing they're going to bring up? Well, look what Terrence Crawford did against Canelo. Then you got to ask yourself, idiot, what weight does Terrence Crawford actually walk around with? And Canelo is he's small for in the division. compared to the other guys. Canelo is small. He's just skilled and muscular. Also, Poe, I think I found a game that rivals UFC Undisputed 3 by THQ. It might be better than it, honestly. Might be one that I like. They need the clinching and to bring back in. Exactly. They had it. They had the clinching. I was like, whoa, it looked good. And the inside fighting. People keep saying they still got inside fight. No, they don't. If you seen the inside fighting that they originally had, it looked beautiful. I was like, yo, it looked beautiful. Looked like you could dig to the body. And they can't say that they're making, it's glitching and all these things they're saying. I know what they're doing. They're taking these things out, reworking them for Undisputed 2. Will or somebody said, you're giving them too much. Ash said it. Ash always tells on himself, but people don't pay attention. He said when he have all these ideas and he tell the team, they say you're being too over ambitious. That's too much. And Ash, being the soft person he is, no disrespect, Ash, but you're soft. You're soft. You're soft spoken and everything. Let your older brother do it. That's what older brothers for. Your older brother look like he'll crack you upside the head or something. Let your other older brother do it. Ash be having all these ideas and they talk them out of them. And that's stupid. Let me see the original fighting with that black and white. Exactly. And I was trying to guide them with that. I was like, won't y'all get that and have more like the grainy type instead of just the black and white? I said, make it look actual, realistic to that era. Let it be grainy. See, they need somebody like me on the team because I got a billion ideas. Always got ideas. Every day I gotta stop myself from writing sometime. And I say, all right, I ain't gonna do boxing today. Let me go make some recipes. That's how I be thinking. Let me see. The original fight with the black and white where you see fighters throwing rabbit punches and short uppercuts and hooks. It looked amazing in the trailer. Exactly, it did. And it's like they trying to hide all proof of these things, like it never existed. Long as that's what I be telling people. They say, Poe, your show is all about complaining and stuff. It's not about complaining. It's about what I want them to be accountable. I want them to do better. Even on my shows, if people actually listen to my show or watch my shows, I'm giving them ideas. They could go on my blog. I actually have 3 to 4 blogs, but I got 2 for boxing. They could go there and I have breakdowns of what I'm talking about. Let me see. Let me read this. All right. Why boxing ratings aren't wrong. A gamer-friendly breakdown. Weight class scalings are relative. Speed. Lighter fighters are naturally faster. Engines simulate hand and foot speed relative to size. Power. Heavier fighters hit harder. I'm about to start going into this is about to go into tiers because Ash talking about tiers, which sounds stupid for a boxing game, for a sports game in general. There should not be any tiers. Tiers seem like something that you want for for esports. Let me see. I'm not gonna read that. That ain't my tier post that I was writing. All right. Let me see. All right. Why tier system fails in boxing video games? A tier system sounds simple, ranking boxers into S, A, B, and C tiers and calling it a day. That works in arcade fighting games, or hero shooters. It does not work for boxing, and here's why. Boxing is not transitive. Tier systems assume this logic. If boxer A beats boxer C, and boxer B beats boxer C, and boxer A beats boxer C, does not work like, boxing does not work like this. Styles make fights. Matchups matter more than rank. A pressure fighter can overwhelm a slick fighter. That same slick fighter can dismantle a brawler. A brawler can knock out the pressure fighter. A system collapses this complexity into a straight line and breaks realism immediately. Weight class breaks their tier logic. Tier systems imply universal hierarchy. Boxing is divided by physics. Power scales with mass. Speed scales inversely with mass. Stamina, durability, and punch resistance all change by division. A lightweight, welterweight, and heavyweight cannot exist on the same tier ladder without flattening it. What makes each division unique? To make tiers work, developers would have to ignore size physics, normalize power unrealistically, or invent arcade scaling. At that point, you no longer have a boxing simulation. Look, it say we will not have a simulation if they add tiers. So that means if Ash is talking about it, Fight Undisputed 2 is not going to be a simulation or a realistic boxing game. So he literally telling us, and people was agreeing, oh yeah, tiers sound like the right route to go. No, it doesn't. That means you don't know nothing about boxing or what you're talking about. Boxing is about skill distribution, not overall strength. Tier system assume fighters are stronger or weaker overall. Boxing fighters are imbalanced by design. One boxer may have elite defense and poor power. Another may have knockout power and weak stamina. Another may be average everywhere, but tactically brilliant. I was talking about that earlier. Another may be average everywhere, but tactically brilliant. A tactically brilliant fighter, a boxer with high IQ can beat a boxer that's strong or fast. I know y'all be like, man, that don't make sense. Yes, it does. It makes a lot of sense. Seen plenty of fights like that. But y'all missed it because y'all was looking at the wrong things. Tiers compress this into a single label and destroy identity. Two fighters in the same tier can fight completely different, win in complete different ways, lose for complete different reasons. That nuance is the sport. Tiers kill upsets and long-term replayability. See, tiers are made just for tournaments, but overall replayability, like career modes and any other things, it kills all that. That's why a lot of people were saying, yeah, tier systems make sense because you're thinking about the competitive scene and you're pushing away the offline people, which research says there's more offline people than online. And people love to argue that. And I told them why the numbers boost up some. Because of phone games. They lump phone game numbers with that. Everybody got a phone, and everybody might play the game when they uncomfortable. I mean, when they got time or they're sneaking on the job to play it in the bathroom while they're sitting on the toilet, not really doing nothing. All right, let me get back. Tears kills upsets and long-term replayability. Real boxing is full of upsets. Bad matchups. Boxers who dominate certain opponents and fail against others. A tier system trains players to expect outcomes. Once players believe S tier always beats B tier, the game becomes predictable. Predictability is the fastest way to kill. Career mode immersion, I was just saying that. AI versus AI simulation value. Content creation. And these content creators, they literally killing their own content. It kills content creation. Cards, tournaments, fantasy fights. Tiers encourage lazy balance design. That's another reason why they're doing it. So they could be lazy. They put that idea in Ash's head. Ash need to do his research. Me and Ash need to sit down for about a day and I could break things down to him. But no, they ain't gonna let me be around Ash. All right. Tiers encourage lazy balance design. For developers, tier systems become a crutch. For developers, tier systems become a crutch. Instead of modeling stamina decay, implementing tendencies-driven AI, balancing punch effectiveness by range, timing, and fatigue, they simply buff top tiers, nerf lower tiers. This leads to homogenizing gameplay. Another big word, wow, homogenizing. I said that without stumbling. Let me stop messing with myself. All right, patch wars. This leads to patch wars. You know what patch wars is, hot fixes and all that other crazy stuff. Endless community arguments about who should be S tier. That cycle never ends because the system itself is flawed. Boxer ratings are relative. Now they hit me with these crazy words. All right. Boxing ratings are relative. Good boxing games use weight class normalizations, attribute scaling, tendencies and hidden stats, styles, interactions. A boxer is not better in a vacuum. They are more effective in specific contexts. A tier system ignores context. Boxing is context. Tiers turn boxing into a fighting game clone. Tier systems work in games where characters has symmetric rules. Move sets define power. Physics are abstract. Boxing is astrometric. Bodies differ, endurance differs, damage accumulates, momentum swings matters. Using tier forces boxing into a genre it does not belong to. the right alternative. Instead of tiers, boxing games need division-specific rating systems, attribute distributions, not flat overalls, tendency-driven AI behavior, hidden stats for fatigue, damage, and ring IQ, styles matchups. This allows low-rated fighters to win realistically, dominant champions to feel dominant without being unbeatable. Every fight to feel earned. Bottom line, a tier system oversimplifies a complex sport. Breaking realism reduces replayability, encourages lazy design, training players to misunderstand boxing. Boxing isn't about who's top tier, it's about who shows up, how they fight, and whether their style works on that night. A boxing video game that forgets that isn't just inaccurate, it's missing the entire point. So what do y'all think about what I said, unless y'all was tuning me out? Y'all just go back and y'all could go back and listen to it. Let me see. Oh, y'all talking about the Nakatani fight. What's up, mate? Let me see. All right. The easiest way to get fans back to normal is to show a trailer for Undisputed 2 and Real Engine, and that looks like the game trailer for EA. Yeah, but then we gonna feel like we got getting tricked all over again. They can show the trailer, but they gotta keep letting us know that that's really what the game gonna be. Cause we gonna think that they're gonna do the switcheroo on us. Undisputed 2 should be a massive update for Undisputed 1. Exactly. Lamont said, I agree 100%. May, what's up, May? 365. He said, say. Salute. Facts. What's good, May? Oh, Leafy said, what's good, May? A lot of times it's the players and not the game. A lot of these cats gotta play a game, however, just for the win, even if sim styles play is possible. Let me see. They still need tendencies along with those traits, like you've been saying. Yeah, they do. They really do. Bees keep saying traits are tendencies, and I'm trying to tell them they're not the same thing, but I'm not going to argue with them because traits and tendencies are two different things. They really are. Even capabilities. Capabilities are a different thing. Because I was asking for capabilities, tendencies, and we should have more traits. But I'm okay with just having the tendencies, because if we pay attention, NBA 2K does well with the tendencies, even though they have traits. They do have a nice trait system too. The older NBA 2Ks had tendencies and capabilities. How's it going today, dude? Oh, you talking to me? Boxing is the key. Exploits can be tamed. Exactly. It can. There's always a way to beat any style in a game. No boxer is unbeatable. Do you know what people gonna say? Well, Usyk is undefeated. Yeah, but it's things that you see that can beat Usyk. If you get a boxer and you're playing them and they get Usyk style down packed, realistic to what Usyk is, no holding back, not giving us little bits apart, little bit pieces of Usyk. That's how they tricking a lot of y'all. Like people say, yo, they got real styles for some of them boxers. Not really. They add just enough of the boxer that you could say it's that boxer. Emmanuel Augustus, he does this, he does that, but some of the stuff that he does in real life, they don't have. Am I nitpicking? Yeah, sure, I sure am. Because I know the technology would have picked up everything that he does. The technology that we have. If they use that technology that 2K used for the basketball players, the game would have came out much better. Much better. But people find ways to give Steel City excuses. And people like starting to fall back on their indie company. Man, how is their indie company? They have a publisher. They have a high, what you would call a major publisher. They have investors. They have shareholders. They're not an indie company. Do you know what an indie company really is? People that's working out their garage or a little studio or barely have a studio. Some people be working in their houses on games. That's indie. Indies are very small studios. Steel City is not an indie company. They're no longer an indie company, and they're not really a double. I mean, they're not even a double A studio to me. Because once they sold out the million copies, that put them up there. Once they bought 3 buildings, you got 2 studios and a facility. You're not indie. Once you got that major publisher, you're not indie. Y'all got to do y'all research instead of letting these jokers brainwash y'all. They're not brainwashing me. Let me see. Nakatani versus Hernandez. Content creation is killing a lot of things. It is and it isn't. The content creators should be the voice of making this game change. But their thing is they're going along with what's going on. They're accepting what's going on. Because if they ask me, they say, where you getting all this evidence from? You just saying stuff. No, I'm not just saying anything. If you look at my blogs, I literally break down my information and where some of it comes from. So this stuff exists. Everything that I say exists. I have it in my blogs. The technology, the developers they need, and everything. Steel City still don't have the developers to make the game. When I look at who they hire and who's on their staff, they don't have all the people that they need on their staff. So now I'm like worried about what they're going to do when they put to Unreal Engine because you're not hiring the right people. Ash has a like a king. He has a secretary that follows him around. To me, that's wasted money. What you need somebody to follow you around for? Next, you're gonna see Ash walking around with a gold cup, sipping yak or something. Let me see. He said, content creation is killing a lot of things. Game itself getting killed by itself. Yep. Let me see. Let me see. The undisputed player base mostly play the game in a dirty manner, spamming, running, quick glitching, exploiting, broken mechanics. And you know what's the funniest thing in the world? They took away one thing that people will be getting mad at that they needed. Now, how can somebody run if you clinch them? How can somebody run if you clinch them? Makes sense. Let me see. People, like if you could grab him and stuff, he keep running, you know he gonna keep running, you're gonna clinch that joke and start hitting him. Make that joke a fight. People only want to mess with some if others are, or some creators just want clicks, so their opinion is skewed. Yeah. Man, I think you rode that too fast for yourself. Exactly, Mike. Hope bloody knuckle street boxing don't go the same route. I don't think so. He just need help. I really think he should push up to get more help. Love She Shorty can get help if he need to do videos like he used to do back in the days. He got to go back to his old style, like making them videos and talking to his fan base. He ain't got to do it for no long hours. Give people 30 seconds or to an hour. He could even start monetizing. He could have been monetized by now. Lamont Davis said, "We are listening. Appreciate y'all." And yo, if y'all didn't take that survey, because I made another one, y'all could take both of them if y'all want to. Like take the new one and then take the old one later on. But take them surveys so they can see that we're not playing, that we want changes. Take the survey, share it. Please share the survey. Tell your friends, tell people that you think like the boxing game. I mean, see, this is what get me mad. It's a lot of content creators that I support that they don't support me. They're like I'm irrelevant. And I'm like, yo, I thought we were friends, but evidently we're not, because you see me beneath you. And one person that I'm like a little it's a little annoying and it's sad because I really respect him. Boxing Fanatical, he don't really respect anything I post. He don't repost it. He doesn't support anything that I do. I'm like, yo, really? Really? I like everything you do. I support it. I share it and everything. Really, you don't even, he doesn't do that for me. Even Coach Corner, he supports me when he's active. Everybody support me. Like some of these guys that call themselves like major YouTubers and stuff like that, I'm like, yo, what I'm saying is not wrong. So that proves to me that you really don't want the game to be better than what it is. Because you think I gotta distance myself from in public, like have that like type of mentality. And that's crazy. Let me see. Just like Roy Jones and Undisputed, it's had to break through his block counter style guard, but if you know how to play, you can beat those players or any others for sure. Yeah. Undisputed just needs to do something like that, like the pro play. Exactly. It's no excuse. 2K call it pro play, but it's called procedural AI. It's called procedural AI. I'm listening while I edit. Salute, Jay. See, Jay be popping in. Jay be listening. But what I'm saying, like, I'm not talking about you. I said earlier, Jay, you do, you shared, give me respect and stuff. I'm talking about the other guys that I think my friends. It's like they like, yo. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, I don't. It's like I supposed to like their videos. I supposed to share their stuff on my Twitter account and on my Facebook. I don't have to. You're not above me. I thought we was friends. It's like when I said, let me see. I did it for a whole year. And I said, hold up, man. This is stupid. This joke, I respect him, and I'm guessing he don't respect me. Joker don't never share my stuff. He never comment or nothing. I said, all right, I got something for him. I'm gonna stop sharing this stuff. That's like feel like the ultimate disrespect. And he in a group with me. I'm like, yo, we literally in a group. Let me see. Jay said, I'm listening while I edit, but I want to chime in and say that I just like making videos on the sport I watch. It sucks. This is where the game is at because they have the resources per se. They do. See, you're repeating what I keep telling people. And if they really pay attention, you could see that they have the resources. They're not hiring the right developers. I'm looking, I'm like, yo, you know, if you look at the list of developers that they have in the studio, there's at least 20 missing. So how do y'all think the game is going to be great on Unreal Engine when all the developers that they need? Look at my blog, and I got all the developers that they need. Look at my blog. Then you look at what Steel City has on their team. I don't even see those people on their list of people that they're trying to hire. And at this point, they stop hiring people because I don't even see a posting up. Let me see. Aaron Nova said, we all can agree if you play the game the way yo, man, stop playing, man. Stop playing. Yo, I was really about to read that just the way he said it too. He said, we all can agree, right? If you play the game the way it's meant to be played, it's good, right? Right, Jay? Yo, when he said that, that jump was crazy to me. I was like, yo, you ain't really say that, did you? And that don't even sound like what he would have said. Lug said, I keep saying this. People need to be themselves. That's all in all games. It be the community, yeah, and the game broken, but the players make it worse. True. Let me see what that can be said. Jay said that can be said about any competitive game. Laughing out loud. If you don't cheese, it'll look better. Nah. See, that's where I'm kind of disagreeing because if the game had if the game, see, we're going off of what we've been given. If the game was made the right way, I'm talking about a boxing game. I'm not talking about basketball right now. I'm just talking about a boxing game. If a boxing game is made the way it's supposed to be made, the cheesing and the blocking that aggravates you and everything, all of that goes away. Then y'all say, oh, it's always going to be a meta. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Do we have a meta in real boxing? I mean, in real boxing? What's the meta in real boxing? Exactly. And a lot of y'all going to say, Usyk is a meta. No, he's not. Usyk is not a meta. Usyk can be beaten. If we could see it on the outside, a lot of people when they're in the ring, we gotta separate what we see in a boxing match and when we're boxing. Because when they're in that ring, they don't see everything. That's why when you go back to the corner, I'm gonna put y'all on game about boxing, real boxing. You don't see everything in that ring that you think you see. That's why your trainers, you got your one trainer looking for one thing and the other trainer looking for something else. And when you get back to that corner, they supposed to tell you. He keep dropping his hand. He keep doing this. He keep doing that. That's the things that I'm talking about. What's up, Box Eye View? Appreciate you popping in. Let me see if y'all reading it because I see some laughing emoji. Let me see. Oh, look, say I don't really F with none of these dudes. The few I ran into or talked with was tender and emotional. Exactly. Joker's too emotional for me, man. They too much like females. And they must be saying, you're emotional, trust me. If I was emotional, I would not be here. Where I live at, you got to know how to keep your emotions intact. If I was to go out in the street in Newark with all them emotions and stuff, trust me. That's why a lot of these guys be getting killed. Because everything is about emotions. They're not using logic. When you use logic, emotion don't live with logic. Logic and emotions do not live together. Let me see. Some decisions aren't as easy as for others. We just have to maintain our voice. And exactly, we got to maintain our voice, but we can't also let the developers we can't let them poison our brain because a lot of people accepting everything that Steel City tell them. Why should they be honest if you're going to accept what they say? I used to stay on EA. They be telling me stuff. Oh, we can't do this, Poe. I said, that ain't what 2K told me. Y'all can do it. That ain't what this other developer told me. Say, Poe, you just saying that. No, I'm not. Then I show them the conversation, or I showed them where they gave me a site that I could go to and show them. And they said, all right, Poe, we'll see what we can do. But a lot of things, it depends on the CEOs. But we got to stop giving Steel City too much leeway to do things. If we keep accepting whatever they say, nothing gonna change. Nothing. Don't hold me to this, but don't hold me to this, but if I'm not wrong, most of the team is already hired. Now that if most of the team is already hired, unless they hired in them, that team doesn't look good. Because I was looking at their LinkedIn at their team, and I was trying to find other information because some of the team actually doesn't show up in the LinkedIn post. But from what I saw, they not hiring the right people. A Smooth say Ash is crazy. He's very crazy. Let me see what Leafy said. Leafy said the best way to not have cheese in a boxing game is to study the true human biometric. Exactly. And biomechanics. I don't know why I said metrics. Biomechanics in relation to boxing on how a boxer shifts his weight into punches or his movement. Then the game won't be arcade. Exactly. People keep saying that cheese and all these things won't go away. It's always going to be a thing. That's a lie. Stop making yourself believe that it's a lie. If they make the game the way it should be made, that will not exist. Leafy said, I'll take a while. No, it'll take a while to develop a system on that level. But it won't if they get the right team. They got the money. Even if they didn't have the money themselves, they could borrow more money. And like I said, there's no excuse. You can get sponsors. Sponsors will pay for the whole game. They literally could get sponsors that will pay for the whole development cost. No cap. Let me see. Lux said, box eye view. What's up, bro? All right. Let me see. Leafy said, hold on. What's up, Still City Boxing? You creeped in here. I ain't see you. Let me see. What's going on? Leafy said it's possible. It is possible. That's what I be saying. People got to stop giving Still City and other companies excuses. Winning off points or till you gas out and get rocked is the meta in real life. Yeah, facts. Facts. That's 100% facts. I don't even think it's that. It's just no counter to everything, which makes the meta 100% worse. Real boxing, if you skilled enough, you make someone pay. That's none of that in game. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's in the game that's being made. Because a lot of people, like I be saying, we can't compare everything like with a meta system. A meta system, if there's a meta that exists, that's because it's an arcade game. And people say everything can't be countered. Everything in boxing can be countered, 100%. But like, Poe, you don't know what you're talking about. I was a counter puncher. If anybody saw my video that I put up earlier, I was a counter puncher. I don't think so much in that fight, but I was a counter puncher. I don't even think. Hold up, I was rereading your post. Nah, we passionate. That emotional get you out of here or locked up. Exactly. People miss exactly. You said the right word. We passionate. Passion and emotion is totally different. Passion. See, this is passion. What I'm doing now, this is passion. I'm passionate about this. I'm passionate, hoping that I do something. I'm passionate. Now, if I was emotional, I'd be screaming, cursing, and all these other things. I might even throw my laptop across the room. And I'll be cursing and everything. Let me see. Lamont Davis said facts to what Lux was talking about. What you ain't tell Ash, hold up, Still CC. Why you ain't tell Ash that in the interview? Who you talking about? You talking to JMMA? And A Smooth said that's true. That's wild. Hold on. Y'all getting on JMMA? Yo, don't get on Jay. don't get on Jay because he ain't gonna pop in. He gonna shadow watch. I be having it'd be like 20 people shadow watching. Let me see how many people I got shadow watching today. That'd be weird. Got 57 views, so that means something. But it be showing you who's viewing it. It say 14 people viewing the chat, so it's not 14 people here. I know that. I'd say it's probably about seven people here. Yeah, I keep telling these jokers, even people on hold up, let me see what y'all saying. How did I miss all this? This screen is acting crazy. Oh, all right. Still City boxing. We literally did laughing out loud. Sorry, Paul. Can we all agree that a fighter should not be more dangerous tired? No. I can't agree with that, Lux. You more dangerous when you hurt. There's plenty of people that I seen knocked out while they hurt. You should always be lower tier boxers, maybe, but it's like high. I seen people get knocked out cold. They had the joker hurt and they running toward them. Boom! Knocked out. Knocked out. Let me see. Did they add Make It Last Forever to Fight Night Champion? I mean, forever yet, yo. I'm trying to rip these jokers, man. I'm trying to rip them. Because the joker's trying to talk slick to me. Jokers, they keep trying to say you don't get a lot of people viewing your stuff, and I'm waiting for you to get more than 7 views. Say, oh, you didn't get 7 views at all. I say, I don't do this for views. If that was the case, I would have put my what's call them on for me to monetize my videos. And all I gotta do is monetize my video is to have commercials. But I was like, no, I'm not doing that right now. If I happen to get 1,000 people, I'll do that. Let me see. It's on video, but okay. Hold up, what's going on here? Luxury, that's a 50-50. I've seen a lot of opposition fighters get cracked when they were tired and used their last spark of energy. Exactly. But for real, at this point, Undisputed 2, if it's not free, I wouldn't spend a dime on it. I don't care if they got the best devs in the world. Man, look, stop playing, man. You know, we gonna sit it out at first. You're gonna probably sit it out probably for a week or two, or probably might be a month. Depends on how the game look, and you're back in the seat driving. It's like you mad at your girl. And you be like, man, I ain't talking to her. And that only lasts for probably about a half an hour, 2 hours. And she more mad at you than you are at her. And she lasts longer than you. And you trying your best to get back in good. Let me see. Still City Boxing, you right, bro. I just went up there and said, Undisputed is a good game. Let me see. Oh, yeah. I might have a great show. This is going to be a great show. I might set it up for next Sunday or in the middle of next week. Or it might make a good show for when I do my 12-hour show. So they come in probably for about an hour. I'm gonna have the Beast, and I'm gonna have what's his name? Joe Pro. They both had the same energy. They both had the same energy. They both don't really line up with the same ideas. So it kind of is like it should make for a great show. I just don't want people to come on the show and beef. I just want people to come on the show and y'all could come, agree to disagree. It's all right to agree to disagree. I do it a lot with people that I agree with. Let me see. When I tell you fighting tired is not effective, you lose pop and your shots is more like 2080. Nah, I can't agree with that, Lux. You don't lose power. I seen even Deontay Wilder when he was tired, he cracked somebody. When you tired, you don't lose the pop. Now, them jokers that be jabbing all the time like that, jab, 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 jab. Now, the arm fatigue. Now, the overall and the arm fatigue, two different things in real life. You can have your arms can be tired, but you can still be moving around trying to get them arms up. It was a fight that I had. I was throwing 100 punches. I'm trying to throw punches like I'm a lightweight. And doing that, I'm telling you, big as I was at that time, I think I was big. I was a chubby 198. I was a chubby 198. So I was throwing a lot of punches like I was lightweight because that's the way I used to hit the bag. So in a fight, hitting a bag in a fight is two different things. Man, come the second round, I was barely making it. Barely making it in the second round. I was like, dang, doggone arms. I couldn't lift my arms. I had the energy, but my arms was so tired. And that should be reflected in a boxing game. Let me see what y'all saying. Leafy said SCI should be paying us to play it. They don't need our money. Nova saying, not gonna lie, bro, Jay, y'all kind of folded in that interview. Not sure if y'all signed NDAs, but the questions I heard on Wax were pretty soft. We still haven't gotten clinching or a ref. Nah, they paid us off. We were only allowed to ask certain questions. Hey, Smooth, when I tell you fighting tired is not effective, you lose pop and your shots is more like 2080. I definitely agree with you. Ace Moon say, I definitely agree with you for sure. Your punches start to come out sluggish. Well, somebody should have told that to George Foreman. Let me see. Jay, my guy, no bad vibes. SCI can make millions by releasing ESP. They can. If they would have released the original game, the ESBC version, they would have made $1 billion in the first year. If they kept going on with what they had, that ESBC version with the inside fighting and the clinching and everything from the data, they would have made over $2.5 billion globally with this game. But they sold over 1 million copies. Over 1 million copies is great too for an indie company that just started out. I say tired, not hurt. All right. The player base gotta know what's possible with the right examples. We learned UDS was a dud. What is UDS? Fight Night Forever is fun, but more flaws should be pointed out at the same time. Exactly. People act like Fight Night Champion didn't have cheese, didn't have spamming, didn't have all these different things. It even had just about the same amount of things going on with it, if not more, that's going on with Steel City. It's just a complete game. Let me see. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Yeah. All right. B said, yo, that show is going to be fire. Joe Pro plus Beast. Yeah, that's going to be one of those shows that I might just step away from and just let them talk. Man, people know I stand on business. When I say I'm done, I'll be gone. Ain't no convincing me, especially after I got robbed. All right, I'm going to hold you to that, Lux. Don't change your name either. Don't change your name and account. Yo, y'all get the popcorn for this one. I'll be tuning in. Oh, Ace Move. I'll be tuning in. It's about to be a horror movie with both of them. It is, man. They both have big personalities. They have big personalities. Immovable objects meets unstoppable force. Yeah, man. Poe, I boxed before and got tired before. I was not the same. Man, I think I got tired twice and like dead tired. I couldn't lift my arms up because I be unloaded. Sometimes in certain fights I let my anger get a hold of me, and that's in boxing. That is your worst enemy, fighting with anger. And my thing was I was trying to get the Joker out of there as quick as possible. And the way how angry I was, I'm that type of person. Like in the street, when you make me angry and I knock you down, I'ma stomp you. I think I would have stomped this guy. I think I would have stomped him out, and I would have got disqualified. So that I probably saved myself from myself. Um, yeah, I couldn't even lift my arms up, and I was embarrassed because Shannon came to see me fight. He came to see me fight in that fight. And I was like this, and the Joker hit me, and I'm trying to block and stuff. I was like, oh man, I beat the Joker. He was hurting everything. But then after all them punches I thrown, I was tired. Leaning on the ropes and everything. Everyone here gonna buy Undisputed too. I'm gonna buy it eventually if it looks up to my par. I mean, it looks up to par. Jay said, "Box out view on me," laughing out loud. Box out view. They gotta send me a copy. Yeah, all right, Lux. Yo, y'all being funny. Nothing in the market besides Undisputed and an old Fight Night champion version right now. Unless claimed comes out booming, it's automatic. Yeah, but Claymont Cut, he's one person, so his game is not gonna come out for a while. He's gonna have to really get some help. Claymont Cut really is gonna have to get some help. Yeah, he did all that, but it wasn't like we seen a full-fledged boxing match. We seen like what it could be, but we didn't see like 3 rounds or 2 minute, 2 minutes of a fight, So that means the game is still like far off. I say the game probably 2 years off. Or Fight Night wants to come back. I think Fight Night is gonna come back eventually, especially when the Piff and Donald Trump son-in-law buys the company. I think they're gonna bring boxing back because the Middle East, the Arabs and stuff, they love that they love boxing. So I'm pretty sure they're going to find a way to get boxing back, make Fight Night come back. What I'm skeptical, this is what Lux said. What I'm skeptical, Dad, go on, man. What I'm skeptical about is the culture of SEI. Think about it. They got away with milking a broken game for over a year. Why change now? Yeah, that's true. That's true. See, that's adult talk. That's adult talk. You right. You right. Lux, you right. They milked the heck out of this game. And you gave them some leeway. You said for a year. They've been milking this game more than a year. For 5 years. They've been milking this game. Don't give them that leeway and say it for about a year. Nah. Ain't no year. They've been milking this game for a while. Let me see. Yeah, I hope they let me see. Box Out View said, I mean, it's like UFC, Lux. It's the only game in its genre, MMA, and it's always business first. Nobody should be surprised. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I'm still gonna stick by what I keep saying. Even though I'm mad at Ash, I'm gonna protect you, Ash, a little bit, because I don't want everybody to come and try to choke me out. But I really think they talk Ash out of his vision. And if you pay attention to Ash, this assignment, I'm gonna tell. If y'all want to go through it, watch about 3 videos and watch Ash. The way he talks and stuff. He talks like he's a hostage, like he has to repeat stuff, like everything he say is scripted. When I look at Ash, I'm like, yo, what the heck? I said, am I going crazy? And I asked somebody, I said, yo, he's reading, he's reading from, he's not reading from something, but he's trying to remember stuff. He's trying to remember certain things. And then he'll go and say, but I want a realistic boxing game. He said it twice. It's like a hostage reading certain things, but they giving you clues that that's not what they really want. And somebody said this what I got. They pimping the boxing fan base, selling us hope, exactly. And this is something somebody said, I'm not gonna mention their name. They said Ash was literally begging the content creators to save him. He said, I'm gonna give y'all the floor. What, I forget exactly how I said it when he said, I know a lot of y'all see a lot of things in the game that y'all don't like. So tell me what y'all don't like and what y'all want in the game. When he was saying that, I'm paraphrasing. And the way that he said it, that's like he was throwing y'all the pass. And y'all supposed to have been like, yeah, pass, we this and that. But everybody was like, they was like asking them the soft questions. I'm like, Dad, go on. Y'all like had him on the ropes. Ash is passing y'all a note. It's like he was giving y'all a note. They got me hostage. Save me. Y'all, cause if y'all say it on video, that's what I was getting from when I have conversations with other people. Just like, Dad, Ash is literally begging for help, and they just let him like stand there. That's like, Dad, y'all ain't saving me. I was throwing y'all the pass. Ash looked like a shell of himself in every interview. Yo, I'm not the. They were saying it, and I was like, Dad, I was saying that too. Ash is throwing the pass. Let me see. Ash looked like a shell of himself in every interview. Yeah, Ash looked like he's going bald and everything. That's from worrying. Ash looked like when Obama first went into the office. The Joker went in there with a head full of hair and came out with snowflakes. And there's somebody with a sniper. Yeah, Ash is acting like somebody had a sniper rifle on him. Ash look like, I'm serious, man. If you look, hey Jay, if you look at that video again, you agree with me. It looked like somebody had his nuts in a vice grips. You know how homeboy had what's his name? And had his nuts with the grip pliers. It's like somebody had Ash nuts in the grip pliers. Say, shut up, and you better ask them, you better not say nothing. Yo, that was crazy, man. I was looking at Ash, I was like, yo, man. That just had me. I was like, yo, it was funny too. Cause it's like when I yeah. Ash, I'm telling you, if you watch all the videos, it's like Ash changed. That's from stress. Especially Ash keeps saying different things, and it's like he's throwing notes. Like yo, like he'll literally tell you. He'll literally tell you that I want, but it's not up to me, or stuff like that. I'm like, yo, what the heck are you talking about? And then when he was saying the 5% in the Discord, Ash, you can't use that. Sound like what Will, this when I'm bringing up Will, because I remember that same speech. We had that same speech when I was helping them with EA. It was word for word. That's why when I say certain things, I know I heard it before. When Ash said that 5% in the Discord, Ash, we live in the internet era. You got Operation Sports. You have all these different sites. You have Reddit. It's not only the Discord. That's you framing. You framing stuff. The internet knows about Undisputed. The internet have a lot of hardcore gamers. People keep saying it's not a lot of hardcore gamers, but y'all framing it. When people say, when it comes to sports games have more hardcore fans than they have casual fans. It's a sports game. But what companies do is, all right, since we can't sell NBA Street or street football, we got to make a hybrid so we could get the casual fans. But they didn't do that for NBA 2K. And I know it triggers y'all when I say NBA 2K, but when 2K was 2K, it drew fans to it. People, the casual fans, they learned basketball and learned about basketball. I wasn't a basketball fan. 2K made me a basketball fan. Yeah, I played the older, but I still wasn't a basketball fan. I played the older games like them Sega basketball games and stuff like that, but I was just playing them. But 2K made me a basketball fan because of the way they made it. Now I'm starting to, who this guy? What is his stats? You know, all these different things. Let me see. Money Mike hit. Yo. Yo, what's going? Ash is like, Ash grew a beard. Did y'all see that? Ash grew a beard all these years. Ash never had a beard. You know who grew a beard when they never had a beard? A person that's stressed. A person that he don't care anymore. That's who grew a beard. No, I'm not talking about me and you, Lux. I'm talking about Ash. Because Ash usually be clean shaven. When you see the jokers like him that actually grow a beard, it's something extra. And I'm not talking about people like me and Lux with beards. And I'm jealous of Lux's beard because that's how my beard was. And then for some crazy reason, alopecia just dropped my beard down. All right, let me get back to this. You better not slip up and say nothing or else. Yeah, Ash be saying stuff like he's trying to say something, but he's not trying to say something. Even with Sonny Edwards, you could, when him and Sonny Edwards did that interview, I got the video, I clipped that part out. Ash said hyper realistic, and Will keeps saying, we never said realistic. Ash said it in the video. Ash said it in the video. He said it 3 times in the video. Hyper realistic. He said we wanted the game. He said I want the game to be realistic. I'm like, oh, he said it 3 times. When you say something 3 times, that means you mean it. But here come whoever's in control came and said, man, if you don't stop talking, they had to start talking because Ash is saying too much. It was NBA Live 96. Facts. Hold up, let me see. He stressed it because he didn't want to release the game. He didn't. I was telling people that. Even when I was talking to him, he didn't want to release the game. And people kept saying, come on now. That's why I say, if I come into some money, and I tell everybody that's making a game, if these people in the LinkedIn that's saying they're gonna make a game, I'm not telling y'all. Because what's gonna happen is y'all gonna stress them out. If I know people making a boxing game, I'm not gonna tell y'all. I'm not gonna tell anybody. And there's a lot of people who are looking at my posts. They're really looking at it. I got over 1,000. I think I'm close to 2,000 now. Before I was a little exaggerated, but I think I'm close to 2,000. So they know how they can make a boxing game and it don't really come out their pocket. So they're really looking at these things. I'm starting to get like high profile business people looking at my posts on Reddit. I mean, not Reddit, on LinkedIn. So we might be getting something. If we is, I'm not going to tell y'all. I'm not gonna tell y'all because everybody gonna worry the heck out of them. I was telling Ash, I was like, yo, you shouldn't even talk about it. Because if you once you start talking about it, you're gonna feel obligated to bring the game out. And everybody kept pushing them. We want the game. We want the game. We want the game. Then when he got the investors, that really pushed it. He knew that's what's gonna happen. Once he got the investors, they was gonna push him to bring the game out. Let me see. A Smooth say facts. Boxer Fanatical looked like he was on death row before he left as well, laughing out loud. Ash and Fanatical was looking worn out. Yeah, Fanatical was looking worn out too. But my thing is, yo, man, I've always supported the brother, and the brother never supported me. Everybody else always showed me love, and I'm like, why Fanatical never show me no type of love? He don't like my videos, he don't like my posts or nothing. At least he should be like, yo, Paul, I don't really like your post. I don't like your video. I'm not gonna like it because then people gonna feel like I agree with you. I would have respected that. I would expect that if they see that I like your video or something, say something like that. At least let me know. Come to me man to man. I always have respect for him. Now I got, he gonna probably feel some type of way when he see this video. But I'm being truthful. At least I'm not hiding, not saying nothing. And when you have friends, sometimes you just don't really say too much. You think they're your friend, you really don't say nothing. But then it comes a time when you have to be honest with a person you think is your friend. You got to be honest. It's not that when I wasn't saying anything, I wasn't being honest. I just wasn't saying anything. Let me stress ages people quickly. It's crazy. It really does. It really does. It's another layer of protection so Ash can hide who is keeping him hostage. We know who keeping Ash hostage. I know Jay keeps saying it's other people. Nah, man, it's Will, man. I'ma stick to my guns. I'm 100% sure. If Will was to leave today, the game would be totally different than what we have today. If Will say I'm quitting or I have to quit or something like that, it will be somewhat different. I gotta always keep into account that he have publishers and investors too. But it depends on the contract that Ash signed. Because if Ash signed away his creative rights, we're screwed. We're screwed if Ash signed away his creative rights. Because they can actually take the game from him. Even if he had 50%. If he signed away that creative rights, and the people that he has 2 companies on his team that are shareholders. No, they're not. One is a shareholder and one is actually on the team. They go into companies, help build up the company, and they absorb them. They take over the company. My thing is that going to happen to Still Sitting? Nova said Fatzilla totally killed that game. Yo, man, y'all shout out, man. I used to defend Rackzilla because, it's my bad. Even though he probably might have by himself asked Ash, I put him in Ash radar. I put him on Ash radar. He'll tell you different, but I did. I have the text. I have the DMs. I got the DMs from Will Kensler, and I have the conversation with Ash Habib. I said, Ash, I know somebody from EA that that might be able to help you because you're struggling a little bit. I said, I'm working on Brizzle, Brian Hayes. I was working on trying to get Brian Hayes there, but I say Raxzilla. His name is Will Kinsler. He might be able to help you. That's how Rax got hired. But if Rax tell you anything else, he's lying. And right then and there, you shouldn't believe anything else he says. He actually, and this another thing show you that how corrupt Will Kinsler is. He told Ash to stop talking to me. Ash didn't stop talking to me on his own. He told Ash to stop talking to me. If he say he didn't, he's lying because Ash told me. Ash Habib told me. Will Kinsler is Ash's job title connected to his link profile? Yeah. Ash's title, yeah. Ash is the I forgot, did it change since him and his brother only got 51%. But Ash is I ain't touching nothing. I don't want to mess up my settings. But Ash, he's still the CEO, but yeah, there were signs. There were signs. Will literally came in the Discord and told on himself. He said he did not know this right here, this the killer right here. He like literally told on himself. He said he did not know what ESBC was. He just know what this game is. I'm like, what? That's why you got hired. That's why you wanted to be a part of the team. You love what ESBC was. I was like, right then and there, nobody should have believed anything he said. He had like he didn't know what ESBC was. Let me see. There were signs ever since Fanatical beat him in that video. Exactly. His thing was, since Fanatical beat me, I got to make the game easy for myself. His thing is he wanted the game to be easy for him. That's crazy. That shows how much you love boxing. Will is a fake. And I hate to talk. I always saw Will as a friend of mine. I used to talk to every time a boxing match come on. I hit Will up on Facebook, and I said, "Yo, man, who you got for this fight?" You know, stuff like that. And that joker stabbed me in the back. Stabbed me in the back, man. You stabbed me in the back. Yo, he ain't even been like, yo. He ain't even taught the ass be like, yo, you know, Poe will make a good, because he has a boxing mind. He has a lot of ideas and stuff. He would make a good addition to this team. He didn't say that. He didn't even vouch for me at all. But I know if Brizzle was on that team, Brizzle always used to vouch for me. When they banned me, I was a senior moderator. They banned me. They banned the senior moderator. The fans and people like Brian Hayes got me back on board. He was a developer. He could have been like, hey, good for him. He's talking bad about our game. But that ain't what Brian Hayes did. That's why I always respect him. Let me see. How can you not know what the game is if you're going to work for the company? Exactly. That right there was like, I'm like, yo, man, what are you talking about, man? You making no sense. He really tried to downplay what ESBC was. And what we get now seemed like what Will wanted it to be. He brought his Fortnite thinking into this game. He brought his Fortnite thinking into this game. I was like, Dad, man, if only I could have got Brizzle. And the sad part is, eventually, Brizzle got tired of asking still EA. He got tired of asking EA to make a boxing game, and I guess he got frustrated and he left and went to another company. And the funniest thing is, he left and went to another company that's a branch off from EA. You didn't leave EA. That's crazy. EA is the parent company, but you went to another company that's under the parent company. You didn't leave. That's some crazy junk. That's like knowing the house you're going to build when you have the blueprint right in front of you. Oh, that's like not knowing the house you're going to build when you have the blueprint right in front of you. Exactly. Exactly. If I see boxers jumping out of a battle bus, oh man, I at first I didn't know what you was talking about. Now I understand. You're talking about that Fortnite stuff. And Undisputed 2, I'm done. A lot of people gonna be done. They keep thinking that because they already got the model that this gonna be an arcade game. Once they was talking about the tiers don't belong in a boxing game. I don't care what nobody say. Tiers, I already broke it down earlier. I don't whoever argue with me, we can argue because tiers do not belong in a boxing game. And then I know what people are gonna say. Well, the competitive side. So when you say the competitive side, you're trying to push out a fan base. You cannot force people that play offline, and that's their enjoyment. You think a lot of older gamers, and I know y'all hate when I say older gamers. So y'all think a million young people bought the game. I highly doubt that. Y'all think a million young sports gamers bought the game. Y'all need to come back to reality. Y'all really need to come back to reality. There are older people that play games. It's just that they don't make it their whole day. Let me see. A Smooth said, what type of storyline do y'all expect Undisputed to make along with mini games and actual free roam? See, check this out. I'm glad you said that. You said free roam features in gyms. You remember when we had that? They showed us the video of the boxer walking around the gym. They showed the boxer walking through the gym. They literally took that out and it disappeared and nobody remember. It just went away. You remember that, right, A Smooth? They had a boxer walking through the thing. And as I said, the game was supposed to be like an RPG. All that tech sim, that's not Ash's idea. He didn't want it to be tech sim like that. That was some lazy developer on his team trying to push the game out faster than it was. And that goes along with what Jay was saying. Ash didn't want the game to come out. Will knew he was a part of the problem with the game. You saw the backlash in the Discord and tried to take the heat off himself. Yeah, but you know what made this is what made Will come in the Discord. I put Beast's name, but it was my idea. Because I was like, nah, I don't want to mess up our friendship. You know, maybe we can repair our friendship. But I see Will wasn't backing down from, what he was doing. He wasn't trying to pull me in. He wasn't, he just pushed everything, try to push the focus off things. It was making me mad. So I said, you know what, Beast? I told Beast, I said, Beast, you know what I'm gonna do? I said, I'm gonna use your name. I'm gonna make a what you call it? with that change, the thing where, get everybody to protest a petition to get Will out of there. And the numbers start going up. And Will saw that. He saw that the numbers was going up. And he can't say that ain't why he came in there. Because right after the numbers start going up faster, he came in the Discord. And I said it. It was like predictable. I started laughing. I said, see that change petition? That brought him up in. He called himself protecting his image. But people know your image. And my thing is, why would I lie on Will? What do I have to earn? Because even every company that I ever dealt with that was making a boxing game, I never asked for money. Never. I said, if anything, just give me a t-shirt. That's it. T-shirt, game, and stuff like that. But money, I never asked for money. So why am I lying? I know the conversations me and Ash had, we had quite a few. And people always be saying, no. Well, you're just saying that. How we know what you and I talked about? Well, you ain't gotta believe me. Let me see. Oh man, excuse me. A Smooth said, I remember that it was part of the ESPC trailer with all those mechanics and features. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh, you talking about the walking through the gyms? Yeah. Remember the damage? Why is it that Ash? This is the funny part to me. Why is it that Ash live in the UK? When he first made the game, he should have known about all that stuff that came later after Will came. Will start repeating the same thing when EA, because I remember with EA, I could literally show y'all the text about blood being in the game. And you know how they framed it? They added more dialogue into the story mode. They say, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to create a story mode. It's going to be M-rated. Now we can make the blood and everything be in the game. I said, that makes no sense. I said, you got Mortal Kombat. Kids playing it. You got all these games, but y'all keep, trying to downtrot certain things. They try to say we can't have it as graphic because they changed it. First, they took it away. They had the graphic, it was graphics on the face, like the face like show bruises and it looked real bad with EA. But then they took it away again. I said, you got jokers in the story mode cursing and everything, but you're not worrying about, and you're worrying about blood and all that. It's not like somebody doing some satanic stuff, like somebody doing something over the top. And when Ash said what he said the BBC didn't like how we was trying to portray boxing in a video game. That was a lie. That was a PR stunt. That was a lie. I did my research and everything. It says nothing in the rules about the blood and stuff in a video game. They could have put the blood and everything, the bruising and the swollen eye and all that in the game. That was a development thing. That was a development call. Lamont Davis said, Will Kinzer doesn't know boxing at all. He just know boxing shorts and very limited stuff because if you were a boxing fan, like you keep letting people believe the game wouldn't have never been the way it is now. And that's 100% facts. Hey, J MMA, you still here? I got to ask you a question. I know I asked you last week, but I want to ask you again. I want to ask you again. Is aimbot still there? Because I know they probably trick some of the people, let them take their vacation time. And then when they think they're coming back off the vacation, be like, man, how you get fired on your day off? That's how aimbot might happen. Or some of the people on the team. They might get fired on their days off. Let me see. A Smooth said, Will doesn't even like boxing either. He's using his knowledge to make the game he wants, which is not what was advertised to us. His and Ash vision are clash. That's exactly what I think happening. I 100% think. Because if you notice, and this is, things you got to pay attention to it. People don't pay attention to everything. Will cut Ash off a couple of times when Ash be talking on the round tables. Will cut Ash off. And why is it that we kept saying, I said it I was saying it, I kept making memes and everything. I knew they wasn't going to put a round table out because we was already talking smack about it. But I knew they weren't going to put a round table out because they didn't want to be held accountable. They didn't want to be held accountable. I knew it. And my idea was, why don't y'all do a live stream round table? That right there, if they would have did a live stream round table, that would have gained the community. Everybody would like them again for that short period of time. That little but they would have liked them. They would have been like, all right, they actually answered our questions. They heard us. That's why I be telling y'all should be coming on the talk show and speak. Let them hear your voice. And my thing is, this podcast is not for only Still City. It's for other games to see what we really want. And that's why I'm trying to make, videos for they could see what we really want. Let me see what Leafy's saying. The thing that's a bit weird for me is Will only has one credit for a combat sports game besides Undisputed, which is EA Sports MMA. Oh, he was on the credit? That's weird. Because he used to be the what they call a floater. He was a floater community manager. And me, I used to always say there should be a community manager for each game instead of letting them float around. And they was trying to do that to me. They said, Poe, we're gonna have you being a senior moderator for MMA and for the the Sims and stuff like that. I said, nah, I ain't doing that. See, other people, they were scared. Me, I was like, no, I ain't doing that. My thing is, what you gonna do? Fire me from being a moderator? No, I'm not doing that. I don't like that. Like NBA Live, they wanted me to be a senior moderator for NBA Live. I told them I don't like NBA Live. I like 2K. And that's weird, right? This joker loved 2K, but he's working for EA. He's helping EA. That was weird. Why did they stop the round tables? That was the best part about getting new information. Exactly. The thing is, they didn't want to. It was Will Call. It was Will Kinsler Call. And Jay, you could correct me if I got false information, but it was Will Kinsler Call. Because I know even in Discord, he said that he didn't want to keep repeating things. He said, but my thing is, if you would have did a live, if they would have did a live round table, there would not been no cause for repeat information because you're going to get fresh questions that you have to answer. That's the way you do the live round tables. And they kept making up a billion excuses. I'm like, because they're saying, oh, we got to have a lot of moderators for a round table and stuff. No, you don't. What are you talking about? I used to do live round tables. I have done, I think I did about 3 or 4 live round table with the EA developers. I could literally post one of my podcast that I did. It was an old podcast that I used to do with PR Guy and Rainmaker and Indigo 72. Yeah, that was crazy. If anybody got anything else to say it now, but I don't want to do no 3 hours today. You know, if y'all got anything else to say it now, because I'm about to log off and prep for tomorrow. Oh yeah, tomorrow I got a show tomorrow. I don't know if any of y'all are into it, but some of y'all might show up because y'all, you know, I appreciate y'all support. Tomorrow I'm doing a create a boxer mode, or it's create a boxer and a creative suite. A creative suite is you creating boxers, you creating referees, you creating judges, you creating everything in boxing, like creating stables, you creating gyms, you know, things like that. We're going to talk about that in depth tomorrow. So if that's not something you like, or you don't care to hear about it, you know. Yeah, tomorrow topic, I just said it. Tomorrow topic is gonna be about creation modes. I'm gonna have the full show is gonna be about creation modes. You know, the gyms, the promoters. Imagine if you could create. You know how much content you could make. Y'all not thinking content creators. Y'all should be on my side more. Imagine if you did a whole career mode. You created the promoter. You created the stable. You created the stable of boxers. You created the gym. You created the referee. And you made it spectacular. And you made a story mode. It's going to be your own personal like story mode because you're creating these different entities. And with the AI, they will have storylines. I know y'all fear AI, but that's what's going to help the game go above and beyond. Yeah, but if anybody got something else to say it now. I'm about to log off. Yeah, so I'm about to log off, y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. I did 2 in over half an hour. I did over half. I mean, almost. I did about 2 hours and 40 minutes. I should try to do them 20 minutes and hit the 3. Nah, but bump that. But I appreciate everybody that came here. A Smooth, Lamont Davis, you here every day. I appreciate that. Let me see who else was here. Kanisi came in and left. Box Out View came in. Appreciate you. Blaster X1, Leafy, Nova, salute, and peace. Peace, Nova. Let me see who else came in. Oh, yeah. Salute to JMMA and salute to Lux. Who else came in here? I know somebody extra came in here. I don't want to miss nobody. I saluted Box Eye View. But salute to anybody that's listening to the show and you hear this show. Please, on your way out, like the video and, share the video on your social medias. And until the next show, peace.